I was at home with our daughter, and my husband has his own business, works silly hours, and I heard this noise in the basement. And I'm going, there's something in the basement. There's something in the basement. There's a creature in the basement. So I called him and I said, you've got to come home. There's something in the basement. I'm not going down there. So anyway, he did. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, unheard of. He comes home. Now I have to say, because I'm British, it was a cricket. And that's what was making all this noise. So I had actually brought him home from Toronto because of a cricket.
I wrote my first novel when I was 16. It was short and bad. But do you think that would be a sign? When I couldn't get into psychology in university, well, I got in, but I didn't get any of the programs I wanted to get into, and I had to switch my major. First thing I went to was English. I did better in university English than I did in high school English. I had no idea why, but do you think that would be some sort of a sign? 5 years after university, when I had been bumbling through life and I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I looked at I did a lot of career and soul searching and trying to figure out what my ideal career was, I came up with a list of my 5 top careers. Number 1 was writing.
When I grew up in oversize. When I was in grade 2, report card came home, Carole is an all-rounded student. I didn't know what it meant. I asked my brother. He said, it means you're fat. When I was 10 years old, my shoe size was 10 and a half. When the teacher said to me, act your age, not your shoe size, I was confused. When I was 12 years old, I was basically fully grown, thank you very much. And I had layers of chubbiness around me, but they assured me I'd lose that baby fat. How many of you are still waiting?
That was the worst year of my life. Now, you would normally think that when you find out you're going to have your first kid, it's a pretty happy time in your life. Except that in that 1 year period, I became pregnant. My mother was killed by a drunk driver. I almost lost my stepdad. I gave birth to my son, and my husband walked out on me for the first time.
So I enter the first level of the contest, and it starts at the club. Fairly small contest. There were 4 speakers. So when there's 4 speakers, they only announce the top 2. They don't want the 3rd and 4th to feel bad. So they only announce the top 2. So I go in with my speech, everything went well, sit back and wait for the results. They announced the 2nd place, and then they announced the 1st place. Jeremy Tracey, going on to represent at the area level. You ever get moving toward a goal and you have some positive reinforcement and it boosts your confidence? Yeah. I'm going home telling my kids, Dad's going to California. That's where the World Championship was to take place that year. So we're sitting around the supper table. Dad's going to California.
My story ends well, unlike 150 other families out there in Canada right now who didn't. Ben arrived home safely that September with no physical scars nor operational stress injuries, although I'm not sure you can ever be the same person after you witnessed what he witnessed. He returned home from his 2nd tour last October and will thankfully never have to return to that country again. But my husband always says, Moni, he's a soldier, and he will, for the remainder of his career, always be put in harm's way and make us worry continuously.